Bom dia, galera. Hoje é dia de parque. Hoje tá bem mais cedo que o normal. Deve ser umas 7h30 agora. Da manhã a gente tá saindo e a gente vai pro Animal Kingdom. Por isso que a gente tá indo bem mais cedo que o normal, porque o parque abre às 8. Hoje tá bem frio, a temperatura em tese vai ficar variando de 9 a 19 graus. Eu acho que ele é mais frio que a gente pegou aqui. Vamos indo. Quando a gente estiver chegando lá, eu mostro pra vocês mais coisas. Gente, chegamos no parque, agora tem uma boa caminhada lá pra frente, porque parece estar longe, pra falar a verdade. Mas é isso, vamos andando até chegar lá. Chegando lá, eu passo pro Dadá.
Chegamos no Animal Kingdom. Ah, ele não tem uma entrada tão triunfal assim igual os outros, não.
Aí você ainda vai chegar.
Ah, é um matagal danado, daqui a pouco a gente chega ali na paradinha. Chegamos. Ah, agora a gente vai no safari. Wild... Ah, pera aqui.
Here. Now that anyone's first safari out here. Terrain meaning little in Swahili, so we're technically entering the little forest. But many of the animals who call this place home are far from little, so we'll see what we can find while we're out here. Now there on the right hand side, you might be able to see that okapi. Now that okapi has black and white striped party pants that might make you think he's related to the zebra, but in all actuality, it's the only known relative of the giraffe. That okapi has a super long prehensile tongue that he can use to reach all the way out his mouth and touch his eyeball with it. Now that okapi was actually considered myth for a really long time. Up until about 1901, we didn't have really good scientific proof that they existed. Also there on the right hand side, you might be able to see that saddle-billed stork. Now that saddle-billed stork has a really big wingspan of about 9 feet in width, which is about as wide as the canopy of our truck. Now those saddle-billed storks will mate for life, so honestly, relationship goals. They get their name from the yellow satin shape on their beaks. Looks like I can see the female up here on that hill nest of theirs. That nest is incredibly large up there on the right-hand side. There's also some black rhinos here on the left-hand side. Now these black rhinos are much smaller than other rhino species, only getting up to about 3,000 pounds in size.
My son.
They have a prehensile upper lip, meaning they can grab onto things, like the one also here on the left-hand side is grabbing onto that hay. They use that lip to grab onto food and branches, and other objects they might need to carry. Now many of the animals who call the forest home are excellent at camouflage, so we might have to look a little bit harder to see if we can find anything else while we're out here. Looks like I do spot some antelope up ahead on that left-hand side. Looks like there's some bongo up there on the top of that hill. Now that bongo is that rust-colored animal with the white stripes. Both male and female bongos have those horns of theirs, so it's a little bit harder to tell them apart. The only real way to do so is the darkness of that rust-colored fur. Now that rust-colored fur helps them really blend in with their surroundings, giving them the nickname the ghosts of the forest.
The ghosts?
Now we are entering the Safi River. Safi meaning clean and Swahili. Those are the waters that flow through here. Now, speaking of those waters, do keep an eye on them, as many of the animals who call this place home are semi-aquatic, meaning they spend a majority of their time in that water. Now there on the right-hand side are some pink-backed pelicans. Pink-backed pelicans get their name from the pink feathers along their backside. They also get a pink color to their bills when they're happy or excited, as well as during mating season, a lot like they're blushing. Now these pink-backed pelicans are migratory birds, but they'll come back to the same spot that they were born to lay their eggs. They do so in groups of about 500 at one time. Now it looks like here on the left-hand side is a bloat of Nile hippopotamuses. Hippos have an incredible sense of hearing. They're able to twist those ears like our friend was just doing to help hone in on those sounds. Hippos can hold their breath for several minutes at a time and even sleep while fully submerged. They're able to do so by subconsciously coming up for air at a moment's notice and then sinking all the way back down to the bottom. Looks like they're all pretty much resting right now. But those hippos are incredibly large. They're about the size of a car, getting up to about 5,000 pounds in size. Hippos get their name from the Latin word river horse. Hippopotamus meaning river horse. The reason being is that hippos actually don't like to swim. It takes a lot of energy, and there's no point in wasting all that energy when they can just take a nice leisurely stroll along the bottom of the water instead of swimming. Now there on the left-hand side is a Nile crocodile. Nile crocodiles are the largest living reptile in the world, getting up to about 16 feet in length. They're extremely protective parents. When their babies are having difficulty hatching, the mother crocodile will pick those eggs up in her mouth and rock them around, helping them hatch a little bit easier. And once those eggs do hatch, she'll actually carry those babies in her mouth to protect them from other animals. She'll also give those babies a nice little piggyback ride in the hot sunny days so they can bask and get some to help up their body temperature. Now, crocodiles are actually cold-blooded animals, so they get their body temperature from outside sources like the sun. Now it looks like we are getting ready to enter the savanna. The savanna is home to many unique species of plants and animals. This is actually due to the unique structure of the savanna ecosystem. It's not quite dry enough to be considered a desert, and not quite wet enough to be considered a wetland. So it's home to many unique species, like the baobab tree here on the right-hand side. That baobab tree looks a little bit funny, a lot like its roots are sticking right up out of the ground. The reason being is that up to 9 months out of the year it doesn't have any leaves on its branches, giving it the nickname the upside-down tree. Those baobab trees are extremely important to the savanna ecosystem as they hold large amounts of water and house many birds, giving them the other nickname, the tree of life.
Tree of life.
Now, as we're overlooking the savanna, you might be able to get a sneak peek of some animals. But don't worry, I'm going to see if I can find us some and get a closer look at as many as I can. There on the right-hand side are some wildebeests. Wildebeests are the second most densely populated mammal in the world, second only to us humans. They partake in what's known as the Great Migration, and they do so in incredibly large numbers. The largest group ever being recorded being 1.5 million wildebeests at one time. This time for them is a little bit hectic, so they have to do a few things to stay organized. One thing they'll do is sleep in nice, neat little rows, all like you're all sat behind me, so that they're able to get up and go at a moment's notice. They also have scent glands in the bottom of their hooves, so they can release a scent trail while they run, so that their friends and family can find them, and so no one gets lost. Now the trees here on the savanna look a little bit funny, almost like umbrellas, don't you think? The reason being is actually due to giraffes. Even though they are the tallest mammal in the world, they can't quite reach the top of those canopies, so they eat the underside to let the rest grow in that umbrella shape. Now on the left-hand side, you might be able to see those painted dogs. Those painted dogs are sleeping in that den over there. They get their name from the painted patchwork texture of their fur. They're extremely good pack animals, meaning when they hunt, they do so as a group, with a greater success rate than lions and cheetahs. Now it looks like we have a few animals here on the left-hand side. One of those being a giraffe. There's a Maasai giraffe over here, which is the tallest mammal in the world, as well as an Ankole cattle, which is that brown and white spotted animal that looks a lot like a cow with the really big horns, and some sable antelopes. Now those sable antelopes are extremely protective animals, much like we here protect the animals on the reserve. They protect their friends and family, which is why they're the mascot of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now those Ankole cattle have really big horns. They're about 6 to 8 feet from tip to tip. But they're incredibly lightweight due to the honeycomb structure that makes them up, making them almost completely hollow. They're able to use those horns all like air conditioning during the hot summer months by being able to run blood from tip to tip to help cool them down. Now you might see these tall pillars here on the savannah. Those are actually termite mounds. They're made by small robots that are stronger than concrete. Many large animals, like the giraffe, will use them as a scratching post, while smaller animals, like the wildebeest, will use them as a perch to get a better vantage point of the savannah plains. So there's another Maasai giraffe there on the left-hand side. Now, much like their cousin the okapi, the giraffe has a super long prehensile tongue. It's about 22 inches long. For reference, that's about from the tip of your middle finger down to your elbow. Now those giraffes have what's known as ossicones at the top of their head. Those ossicones are used for necking as well as playing with each other. Male giraffes will often headbutt each other with those horns to assert dominance over each other. Now giraffes are the tallest mammal in the world, getting up to about 20 feet in height. That neck of theirs is about 6 feet long. That neck also has the same number of vertebrae as our human neck, only 7 vertebrae in total. To walk within an hour of life. The reason being is that giraffes are always on the move, spending about 20 hours a day on the hunt for food, so they only get about 30 minutes a day for sleep. Looks like I can spot another animal here. Looks like there's some springboks there on the right-hand side up the top of that hill. Those springboks are those small, more-colored animals. They're known for a move called fraquinho, where they're able to jump 6 feet up into the air and 13 feet across, meaning they could jump up and through the safari truck if they really wanted to. Now it does look like we are approaching a tower being a group of Maasai giraffes up ahead, as well as some elands over here as well. Now those elands stand about 6 feet tall to their shoulder, which really doesn't compare to the giraffe, but they're still a pretty large antelope. They have what's known as a dewlap, which is that flap of skin at the bottom of their neck. A lot like the Ankole cattle, that helps cool them down during the hot summer months. Zebras also have this dewlap, except on zebras it's not as pronounced. How many other animals will impact the look of the savannah, not just the termites or the giraffes? Elephants will actually pick up tree trunks, like the ones you see here on the left-hand side, and move them out of their way so they have a better walkway. So it's a good sign that we might be entering elephant country. So I will keep a lookout and see if I can spot any African elephants for us. Now speaking of African elephants, looks like there's a few here on the right-hand side. Now these are African elephants. The good way I can tell is the shape of those ears. They look a lot like the continent of Africa. Now that trunk of theirs has more muscles in it than the entire human body. There on the left-hand side, you might be able to spot those mandrills. Those mandrills are those monkeys back there. They look a little bit familiar if you've ever seen The Lion King. They look a lot like Rafiki. Rafiki is actually loosely based on mandrills. Yeah, the mandrills have a brightly colored face that they use for mating season, as well as a brightly colored backside. That colored backside is used to help lead their friends and family through the forest so no one gets lost, a lot like a beacon. Now many animals here on the reserve, like the giraffe as well as those elephants, are endangered. So it's really important for us to do our part in helping to conserve these many animals that call this place home as we can. A good conservation success story is the Be an Elephant Project. Now farmers here in Africa were having problems with elephants trampling their crops. But through research funded by the Disney Conservation Fund, we're able to find that elephants are actually scared of bees. The reason being is that those large ears of theirs are incredibly sensitive to sound. So, by making fences built out of beehives and placing them all around the farmers' crops, we're able to turn the elephants away from those crops, meaning the farmers got to keep them, and get a new produce to sell through honey. All in all, it was really great for everybody. The main reason that those elephants were trampling those crops is actually due to loss of habitat. Elephants have no natural predators. Their only threat to their existence is us humans. So it's really important for us to help out these animals when we can. Now we are entering the red clay pits. If you look closely, you might be able to see some tusk marks. It's actually because elephants will actually dig into this clay and eat it. Looks like there's some of those tusk marks there on the right-hand side. They'll eat this clay as it contains essential nutrients and vitamins for their survival. A lot of other animals will do this too, like some species of monkeys. I don't recommend it for us humans. It doesn't taste so great. I should know, I tried it yesterday. Now those elephants we saw back there are most likely female elephants. A good way I can tell is that they're a little bit smaller. Male elephants will typically get up to about 13,000 pounds in size, while females will get up to about 8,000 pounds. elephants here on the left-hand side. Now, both male and female elephants have those tusks of theirs. Those tusks are made of ivory. So one of the other reasons that elephants are endangered is due to poachers hunting for those tusks. Now, a group of elephants is known as a herd, and male elephants will typically spend the majority of their life away from this herd once they turn about 13. These female elephants who call the herd home are led by what's known as a matriarch. That matriarch is the wisest of the female elephants, giving parenting advice as well as directions to the other elephants in the group. Have you ever seen an elephant flapping those large ears of theirs? That's actually a way for them to stay cool. Those ears have a lot of blood vessels. By flapping them, they're able to cool them down and help run that blood to the rest of their body. Looks like we're coming upon a group of greater flamingos here on the left-hand side. Now, these greater flamingos get their pink pigmentation to their plumage by eating large amounts of brine shrimp. Brine shrimp contains beta-carotene, which helps produce this pink color. They eat so much of it over their entire life that they actually get this pink. Greater flamingos are one of the lighter colored of the flamingos, not getting that full hot pink color that many flamingos are known for. And a group of flamingos is known as a flamboyance. Now it looks like we are entering big cat territory, so do keep an eye out and see if we can spot any of these fabulous felines.
Tigre não. Esse até estragou o seu isso.
Many animals will call the savannah home, so we have a good chance of seeing some stuff up ahead. Looks like I see a crash up ahead. That being a group of white rhinos. It's going to be on our right-hand side. Now these are white rhinos. Unlike that black rhino we saw earlier, these ones are a lot larger, getting up to about 6,000 pounds in size. These rhinos get their name from a mistranslation of the Afrikaans word "weit," meaning wide, in reference to that wide snout of theirs.
Yeah.
You see those burrows on the left-hand side. So it's likely due to home some warthogs. Warthogs will dig into these burrows to claim them for themselves, but they'll also take over burrows of other animals, so they don't need to dig one out. Now these white rhinos, the black part of theirs is made of the same thing as our hair and fingernails, known as keratin. Much like our hair and fingernails, they'll keep on growing for their entire life. So they'll file them down on trees and rocks to help groom them into a better weight that's more manageable. A lot like getting their nails done. Now these white rhinos are known to gallop, getting up to speeds of about 30 miles an hour. Savannah is home too many unique species of birds. We saw back there, but also the ostrich. If we look down the right-hand side, you might be able to spot those ostrich eggs. Those are about 3 pounds each. If we were to stand on those shells, they would not break because of their strength. Ostriches are colonial nesters, meaning when one lays their egg, the rest will follow suit, giving us a clutch like the one we saw back there. Now it looks like we are entering Glen, which is home to our warden. And it looks like he brought home a few new friends since the last time I saw him. Those being in the shape of some Nigerian dwarf goats up on top of that hill on the left-hand side. Now these Nigerian dwarf goats are fully grown despite their size. They take up less space and feed than other domesticated animals, making them perfect for our warden's small yard. They have a really round belly. This is due to the fact that they have a 4-chambered stomach. These goats help to provide essentials like milk and cheese to our local village of Harambe. Now here in Harambe, we like to believe that conservation starts with a conversation. So if you learn anything new while on Reserve today, I recommend you go home and share those fun facts with your friends and family, because just like you, they might not know about awesome fun facts. Or love to see that amazing animal picture you took. Many animals here on the reserve are endangered, so it's really important for us to do our part and helping to conserve these animals when we can. The easiest way is just by learning about these animals, and oh, look at that! You're doing it already. By riding the safari today, you're learning about these animals. Another great step is by talking about these animals and simply raising awareness about their endangered species, or just simply about the animals themselves. By simply having a conversation, we can help with these animals' conservation. Now to my wilderness explorers on board, you've been aboard the Simba 1. Simba like the lion and 1 like the number. Make sure you find my friend with that orange badge. Orange badge to get your wilderness explorer badge for riding the safari day. And if you haven't become a wilderness explorer already, I totally recommend you do so. It's completely free, and anyone from any age can become a wilderness explorer. It's a great way to explore Animal Kingdom, because you get to learn a lot about all the different animals that call this place home, as well as learn about conservation efforts. Now here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye because it's a little bit too sad and a little bit too final. Instead,
Majesty, right? So this is based on the movie You Could Become Explorer. Yeah, right? You can shoot. And so I'm going to give you this one.
Chegamos aqui na Everest. É uma das montanhas-russas. Acho que é a única montanha-russa do parque, não? Tava 15 minutos. Chegou uma carreata aí de... Como é o nome disso? Excursão, entupiu o negócio. Mas vamos ver. Segunda atração, né? A primeira foi no Safari. Agora aqui. Era 15, agora tá 25. Vamos ver qual vai ser.
Tomara que eles façam parque rapidinho, que aí o barco vazio.
Fomos na Everest 2 vezes. Muito buena. A gente foi na primeira. E aí a gente não sabia que tinha o Single Riders. Aí a gente foi de novo. Acho que a Vitória tá chamando a gente até agora.
Aê, bebê!
Muito fácil,
Ai!
tá meio frio.
Tá, né? Fala galera, eles foram na Everest agora, eu não entrei. Eu fui na última vez que eu vim, eu acho lá alto me dá medo. Porém, eu tipo iria de novo, mesmo com medo da altura. O problema é que eu lavei meu cabelo. Eu acordei 6 horas da manhã pra lavar esse cabelo. Vocês sabem como o cabelo fica depois de uma montanha-russa? Eu não sei se vocês sabem. É horrível. Mas ó, eu acho que dá pra tentar pegar eles aqui, ó. Tô numa área e eu vou tentar filmar eles. Aqui, ó.
Chegamos, o momento mais esperado do passeio. Tirar foto com o Mickey. Fala, vamos lá tirar foto com o Mickey. Fala, faz um entretenimento aí.
Tô aqui, né, no cima Safari.
Safari.
Vou tomar um café com Mickey agora, daqui a 45 minutos.
Tá certo. Almoço então. Valeu. Saímos ali agora do Mickey Minnie. Consegui meu autógrafo. A camisa deste tamanho eles assinaram lá na bainha. Tá bom. Eu não conseguia filmar, que eles falando que não podia, tinha que ser com a câmera deles e aí filmou com o telefone. Vitória se vira agora pra colocar aí na edição.
Exatamente.
Porque vai estar igual de Tinky Winky.
Stretch real tight, guys, real tight.
Okay. Oh yeah. Take care of me. That's a great way. Number 5. And then, do we have any favorite friends besides making any ones? Who do you want to see? Okay, but who else? I got many of you. We already saw Russell and Doug, right? So those 2. Oh, you want to see more animals? Ooh, we got lots of animals to see going. Do you like birds? I like duckies. Yeah, I should see some duckies.
All right, guys, look up here one time. I'm not sure if we took a picture yet already. All right, now look at me. Got it.
Acho que tá com a tua mãe lá. E é isso, agora a gente vai pra onde, Doug? Ela não sabe, mas a gente vai pra algum lugar e a gente vai mostrar depois.
Exato.
Tamo junto. Ah, pera, vamos tirar foto na. Aqui no brinquedinho do vida de inseto. Geiser. Aí a gente saiu do Everest, aí fomos tirar foto com o Mickey e Minnie lá. A gente mostrou, né? Aí tiramos uma fotinha ou outra e agora a gente vai ver o show. Hã? Ah, é, a gente foi lá também que eu mostrei. Foi legal, é legalzinho, nada demais. E agora a gente vai no show do Lion King, que promete ser um dos melhores shows de todos os tempos, né? Tá gostando não? Isso, cara, esses são os melhores parques da Disney.
Não, não é.
Agora nós vamos ali pro show do Rei Leão, né, Berto? Tá muito bom o dia, graças a Deus. Tá, vamos entrar agora aqui no Lion King, o super show. Ah, eu lembro disso. Thank you. Lembra desse?
With Simba and his friends throughout the land with this celebration. Time for introductions. My name is Kiyume, and I am the leader of our group. Kiyume is Swahili for masculine and strong. What do you think? Next we have the Kawa, which is Swahili for good looking.
Good looking.
And this is Kabibi, which means impatient. Here it is, the mighty Pachyderm. Let me hear you trumpet triumphant. Everyone, it's the Lion King. Welcome, Simba. You're right on time.
A gente foi em alguns lugares, a gente foi na atração do dinossauro, o que a gente fez? Comeu, tiramos fotinho com bastante personagens. Já conseguiu autografar a camisa dele. E agora estamos indo para Pandora de Avatar. A gente foi no brinquedo do Avatar, a gente não sabia. A gente entrou sem querer no brinquedo errado do Avatar. E tem um brinquedo do Avatar que é muito legal, que é o simulador, que é o melhor simulador da Disney. Se não o melhor. Tá disparado de todos os parques aqui. E tem um passeio no Laguinho Podre. A gente entrou, a gente ficou 1 hora, o brinquedo quebrou. E a gente ficou 1 hora na fila. Por causa do brinquedo do passeio podre que a gente entrou sem querer. E depois a gente pegou mais 1 hora de fila pra fazer o Parque Fast, que é esse bom. Como deu pra fazer, foi legal, não me arrependo. Morrendo de medo, tá? Que eu morro de medo do Parque Fast. Mas é isso, a gente fechou. Eu não tá indo embora por agora, vou mostrar aqui pra vocês. A gente tá mais na saída do parque. Dá pra ver bem a árvore ali, eu vou mostrar pra vocês. E é isso, né? Fim de parque, tudo que era pra fazer, fazemos.